Okay, thank you guys for joining the Millionaire Penny Coach today. Today we're going to talk about, again, building the cash reserves. What do we teach our students? Number one, pay yourself first. Go get that 401k going at 15% and forget about it. Receive your match from your employer of 3%. Now think about this for just a second. 15% going into there. That's 15% of your income you're not paying taxes on. What's your tax rate? Say if it's 25% with your state or whatever, 25%. So you're making 25% on your money when you put it into your 401k because you saved 25%. Okay, so that's like making 25% on your money as soon as you put it in there. What person that knows anything about investing would not take an investment that pays them 25% the first year they put it in there? I definitely would each and every time. I will not invest in real estate unless I at least make a minimum of 20% each and every year return on my investment. But that said, the 401k is a great base to put your financial wealth to start on, okay? And we've told you over and over again that if a nurse or anyone making $60 or $50 or $60,000 did this, when they retired after 37 years in just the S&P 500 index, they would make 3 to 4 times the amount of their salary when they retire if they just did this. If they just did this. Now, we're adding something extra on there. Not only are we doing our 401k, we're living below our means. We're making sure that we do not spend more than 75% of our take-home pay on our bills, our lifestyle. We're not going to spend that. And that's going to give us 15% to the 401k, 75% to our living expenses, and 10% to our cash reserves. We want to get you to day 21. Building up these cash reserves. Day one is 1 cent. So go to the bank and get some cash out of the bank. Get $100, get $200, whatever 10% is for that month, that take-home pay. Go get that amount and throw it in a pail, a little metal pail. You put it there on your island or whatever. Get some nickels, some dimes, some quarters, roll them up, undo them, and throw them in there. Take some dollar bills, some 5, some 20, get a roll of those and throw them in there. And then on Friday night, or Sunday night or whatever, get with your children. And you get a Ziploc bag and you get your children to help you. Label it day one. Put in 1 cent. Let your children participate. Use this time as education for them too. Then go get another bag. Say day 2 is 2 cents. What did we just do? We just doubled the amount of wealth we have. Look at them. Do you understand that? Teach them. Use this for a teachable moment. Okay? Now we're going to do this. We're going to build these cash reserves and we want to get to $10,485. But Chris, I don't make this amount of money. I don't care what you make. Put your 15% in, live on your 75%, and then build up to this right here, to day 21. And you know why I want you to get to day 21. Day 21 is my magical number, okay? Day 21 allows us to go outside our 401k and look for other assets to buy, okay? Remember, we're compounding our earnings. Not only are we compounding our earnings, we're making money off the earnings we compound. So that's like we have this money working for us, but in addition, the money that it earns starts working for us. That's the power of compound interest. I want you to get this train rolling. Once the train starts leaving on the tracks, once it gets momentum going, it can be stopped the first 5 or 10 feet. But once that steam engine gets to cranking and those turbines start churning, once you get this train leaving the track, there ain't no stopping us now, baby. We going. So that's where we want you to go. $10,485, okay? Now, how do we get there? I'm doing all I can now to do the 15%. You know, what else can I do? Well, we talk in this group with our students. We want to teach you that You got the 15%, you're living below your means, you're trying to get to the 10%, you're trying to do that, you're trying to build this with your children. Now you say, well, how can I build this even faster? How can you build it faster? You can develop side hustles, okay? You're not limited just to your 8 hours a day, your 40 hours a week where you work. What kind of side hustles can you do? How can you build up your cash reserves faster? First thing is, I got a good job. I say, well, I can work some extra overtime. I can work some extra overtime. So if I'm making $30 an hour and I work an extra 5 hours a week times 50 hours, that's $7,500 a year right there. That's almost there just by doing an extra 5 hours a week, okay? Or, some people work overtime, they get time and a half. So rather than making $35, they making $45. So you look for ways to build side hustles. One is working a little bit more where you are. What's another way? Another way would be, what do you think, Andrew? What we talk about? Another side hustle you can do in our group we talked about.
We get real estate license?
Real estate license. You could go and learn a side hustle that's something that we're already somewhat interested in is real estate. You get your real estate license. What are you doing? It's costing you $350 to get a real estate license. You're learning about real estate. You're building your mind. You're building your brain. You're releasing dopamine because you're getting educated, and there's value in that. When you get your real estate license, you're studying, you're learning terms, titles, bond for titles, lease to own. You're learning all these different real estate concepts, and now you're going to create value for yourself in the marketplace, so that when maybe a friend or somebody you hear is fixing to move or fixing to do whatever, you can offer your services to them by just telling them a little bit and doing some consulting work. Next thing you know, you got a listing, a $250,000 listing because you're a real estate agent. It's $250,000 a small, regular, median house in your neighborhood. $250,000. It goes on the market, and if it's around here, it sells just like that. Okay, $250,000. What is your share of that income? Well, if you're the listing agent, you listed it on the MLS, your share is 3%. 3% of $250,000 is $7,500. What we're trying to get? We're trying to get here. With this one sale, with this one listing alone, we got almost half of it, more than half of it in just that one listing alone. Okay? So now you got your real estate license. So you're adding value to the marketplace. Always look for hustles and side hustles to add value to the marketplace. So you got your real estate license, but you're working your job over here as whatever you're doing, but now you have your real estate license. You can list people's property, you can show people's property, but now you're thinking, as Mel would think, how can I make this even better? Well, she's going to learn how, maybe I should do a TikTok channel or a YouTube channel, and I can tell people about the real estate in the area. And if they come and they watch my TikTok and they watch my YouTube, who are they going to call when it's time to sell their real estate or buy real estate? Maybe she says, hey, if you're new to the area, come, let me show you the best 3 places to eat around here. Let me show you about the country club in Andalusia. Let me show you about the country club in all. And all of a sudden, she's developing a following, being known as the real estate person here in this area. And all of a sudden, she's getting more calls, more leads, and she's developing a following on YouTube. And then all of a sudden, she learns to video edit, she learns to TikTok, she learns to use Facebook, and pretty soon, at least once a month, she's getting these deals where people are calling, reaching out to her and saying, Hey Mel, I saw you on Facebook. I saw you on TikTok. I know you know real estate. I know you know the places to go. I know you know the community because you live there and I watch you and now I trust you. Now all of a sudden she's getting a call every month. She's closing a deal once a month at $7,500 once a month. That's $90-something thousand a year just in this little side hustle. But that's not all. She's also making money from YouTube now. Now TikTok wants to write her a check. And next, some other person reaches out to her. Hey, how did you do that? I noticed you got a following. And this one little side hustle is all of a sudden turning into other things. And here goes Mel off into the wild blue yonder from just a little side hustle of getting a real estate license and then adding some more value on that by doing a YouTube channel. And what does her husband say? Her husband said, hey, maybe we need a new camera. Maybe we need new this and new that. And maybe we need to expand our creativity so that we can do more and grow bigger and come even more profound. Okay, so we're building this. What's another side hustle? We said YouTube. We said become a video editor. We said get your real estate license. We said work extra overtime at your job. What is one more? Be a good one.
Lawn care?
Look at Andrew. He's looking for service jobs now. He says, hey, I've got this lawnmower here, and I've got this weed eater, and I've got this blower. I already have these assets, and I like what I'm doing. I live in a pretty good neighborhood, and all of a sudden he says, you know, I could just hook up my trailer and go down the street. When I'm doing my lawn on Saturday mornings, I could go do a couple more lawns. And next thing you know, he's making an extra, what they charge now, $85, $100 to do lawn care. So he's got 3 customers he does every other week. 3 times 100 is 300 times 2 a month. That's $600 a month times 7 months. That's $4,200. So just from the lawn care business alone, he's generated $4,200. But he took that $4,200 and somebody said, hey, I got this lawnmower. I don't really want to use it anymore. Would you give me $500 for it? He bought the lawnmower, got $500, and then turned around and cleaned it up, oiled it up, did some little maintenance to him, and he's got a $500 lawnmower. He's going to list on Facebook for what? $2,100. Somebody would gladly pay him $2,100 for a 36-inch zero-turn little mower that they can use around their yard. So doing these little things, doing these little side hustles, looking for other little side hustles, but you know, all of a sudden he's cutting yards and people are kind of recommending him, and next thing you know, he's getting more yards than he can handle on a Saturday and a Friday afternoon, and he's looking to hire somebody else that maybe can help him. So now he's got a little college kid or a high school kid right down the street that's working with him, and he gets another one. He says, you know, I can hire these kids for $20 an hour, kind of supervise their job, and now I can double the amount of money I make. So all those little side hustles lead to side hustles. Who knows where that could go? Okay? Any other ideas?
Just a normal part-time job.
A normal part-time job. When I was in college, I'd get up every morning, I'd go to UPS, I'd work from 4 to 8. Then I'd go to college from 8 to 1 or 2, and then after that I'd go work out for a couple of hours. I'd go home, eat supper, and I'd go study for 3 to 4 hours each and every night. That was my routine. But on Friday nights, I would like to do something else. So on Friday nights, yeah, I would study a little bit, but what I did is I got a job as a waiter. I would go wait on tables at this fancy restaurant because I knew people who went to this fancy restaurant, they had big tips. I would go and I would make tips of $40 to $50 an hour, and that would be a slow night. I would stay there and work every Friday and Saturday night. I was at that place working. I enjoyed it. I met people. I had fun. I hustled, and all that money, I just kind of piled into these. You just think, if you're making $40 an hour and you work 5 hours, that's $200. You work 2 nights, Friday and Saturday, that's $400. $400 a weekend times 50 weekends. That's a 20, what? 400 times 50, that's $20,000 a year as a side hustle by just working a part-time job 5 hours twice a week. Come on, guys, $20,000. You can do this. We live in America, the greatest country in the world. There's so much opportunity all around us. And then you get with people like us. You come into our program and you learn about, hey, you can take 10,000 and double it just like that. What? Yeah, how? Show me how. Show me how you did it. I will not only show, we'll walk you through the steps and do it. That's why I want you to hit this YouTube channel. I want you to come here. I want to give you this kind of value. But you got to give us value too. When you do something for someone, when we give you value, hit that like and subscribe button. Go in there and make a comment. Help us be able to take this message to other people, to other Americans, so that they know, hey, America's still the greatest country in the world. I don't care who the president is. I don't care what's going on in the world. We got a chance to make this country great and keep it going. Why is everybody jumping on boats in other countries, little rafts, and trying to float and get here? Because this is the land of opportunity. I don't care what the crazies say, that America is this, America is racist, America is fascist, capitalism is horrible. No, America is great. Capitalism says if you're willing to work and you're willing to go do the hard, the sweat and the toil, get out there and go after it. That's what our students do. We get out there, we open our minds, we read, we learn, we study. We try to add value to the marketplace. These side hustles, you can add value to. Start your own YouTube channel. Do these things. I haven't made it there yet, but I hope to make it someday. I hope to make a 50 cents from a YouTube subscribe. Hey, that'd be great. So if you can help add us value, we want to give you value. A waiter at a table. We'll say that. Mel, one of the great things she said. This is the final thing and we're going to end the video today. One of the greatest things she said is, when you want to do a side hustle, you got to stop and you got to think. Where do I live? What's around here that could make extra income for me? Do I live in Auburn where I could maybe clean houses, clean condos, do Airbnb, help somebody set up an Airbnb, do Airbnb arbitrage for the weekend that there's games and other things that reason people would want to come to the university? Do I live in Destin? Man, those people that go out and eat in Destin usually have good money. They pay good tips. They need their condos clean. I could start a cleaning service. I could do all these other things for a side hustle. Then maybe even hire me a couple of employees to work for me when my book of business got so big. You got to think about these things. Can I do Airbnb arbitrage? Can I do this down here in Destin? Many older people or elderly people don't want to fool with Airbnb. But if you tell them, hey, I can give you extra $1,000 a month for this property and I want to rent it for this, and whatever I make over this, I'll split with you, 40, 30. Those are things and ideas you can do. But Mel is right. You got to think where you are and what's available to you, what skills you have, what skills you can obtain. A lot of these young people, they need to learn about video editing. Why? Because it's a huge market and people need it. Businesses need it. What kind of service, what kind of value can I bring to the local businesses? What do they need? They need customers. They need marketing. How can I learn about marketing? How can I do this? These are the things that you can do and that you can provide to other people. Come back next week. If you like what you hear, do us a favor, help us. Hit the like and subscribe button so that we can continue with this content and we can teach people how to build side hustles, how to be income. See you next week. Have a great, incredible week. Thank you.